Video obtained by Arizona's family gives us a look at what happened the morning Dion Johnson was shot by a DPS trooper. Phoenix police released new information in this trooper-involved shooting last night. They say a trooper found Dion passed out at the wheel, parked in the Gore Zone on the Loop 101 near Tatum. Investigators say the trooper saw beer cans and a gun in Dion's car. The trooper removed the gun, then went back to arrest Dion. Now, according to police, the trooper thought he was going to be pushed into traffic, so he pulled his gun. They say Dion went for the gun and the trooper opened fire. The 28-year-old later died, but video shows crucial minutes passed before medical crews were able to gain access to Johnson. The video does not show the shooting, but we do want to warn you, it can be a bit difficult to watch. Carissa Planalp here in the studio tonight to break it all down for us. Carissa?
Well, Jared, we recorded that video off of a traffic camera, and it starts rolling at 5:35 in the morning, Memorial Day. And you can actually see the timer here will start running at the top of the screen. We see two troopers on the scene and Dion on the ground. What happens over the next 5 minutes is important. I've taken this footage to the family, to an elected official, and a policing expert to get their perspectives on what we see.
5:35 a.m. Monday, May 25th. A trooper is kneeling on the ground with 28-year-old Dion Johnson. Another trooper is standing next to Dion. It is difficult to see what is going on between the police motorcycle and the back of Dion's car. Eventually, Dion moves into view. He is alive. This is video Arizona's family recorded from a traffic cam. The system monitoring Valley freeways is maintained by the Arizona Department of Transportation, where personnel have the ability to zoom in and out and adjust the cameras. When that happens, we see an ambulance staged yards away from the scene and a fire department vehicle off to the side. The trooper on the ground has something in their hands, while the other trooper is standing next to Dion. Cars continue to drive by. 5:40. Medical crews approach.
Treated my son like an animal.
Irma Johnson, Dion's mother, shaken by what she sees in this clip.
It's hot, and he's moving, and the officer takes his boot and kicks him back down. That's devastating.
The Johnson family viewed the video with their attorney, Jacquees Blackwell. He claims Dion had been shot in the stomach, but could have survived if he had received immediate care.
The open question is, at what point was the scene safe enough to allow and to bring in the medical crew?
Michael Scott has served as a law enforcement officer in agencies across the country. He's a clinical professor at ASU's School of Criminology and Criminal Justice. Scott says medical crews arriving on any scene must wait for the all clear from police.
The delay is usually connected to the police officer's need to make sure that the scene is first safe, that weapons have been secured.
Investigators say the troopers secured the gun found in Dion's car. The Johnson family believes this footage even shows Dion handcuffed. Scott notes the video is limited, but he has observed the movements of the troopers and Dion.
It appears that the EMS crew could have been summoned in at least a couple of minutes sooner than they were.
The lack of video evidence has made it difficult to understand what happened that day. Investigators say there is no dash cam or body camera footage.
When we're asking for transparency, when we're asking for accountability, we have to first begin by making sure that everyone has all of the facts.
State Representative Reginald Boulding is asking the governor and fellow lawmakers to approve police reform that would require all officers in Arizona to wear body cameras. Boulding says a recent effort to equip troopers with this technology failed.
I know that there was a request from the budget of the governor put in this budget for body-worn cameras, but the legislature did not pass that request, and I think that is something that we need to have more pressure on.
At the center of it all, a young man, family says, was turning a new leaf. The family admits Dion had a criminal history, but Dion's sister says the 28-year-old was improving his life.
He got a job and he was so happy, he was so proud of himself. You know, he felt what it felt like, to actually receive money, honestly.
The mother of his 14-year-old daughter says the bond between father and daughter was getting stronger every day.
She told me on Christmas last year that he was the only person that understood her and who she was.
Local protesters who have rallied in honor of George Floyd, the man killed at the hands of a Minneapolis police officer, have evoked Deon's name as an example of possible racial bias here at home. Police departments have grappled with this discussion amid ongoing investigations.
We will get through that period of widespread violence and public protest, but then begins the more painstaking work of figuring out where to from here and how do we meaningfully reduce the risk of future similar incidents.
Then the question is, what do we do next? Because the protesting can't be just for protesting. Protesting has to lead to progress, and progress means we have to have policy change and policy shift.
The Johnson family intends to sue DPS for wrongful death. They say they want the troopers held accountable.
Why let him lay there on the ground, bleeding?
I want him arrested, charged, and fired.
Phoenix Fire would not speak about their role in this specific case, but they told me it is their policy to not allow their crews to enter a scene until law enforcement tells them it is safe to do so. A trooper involved in the shooting has been placed on leave. Jared?